This is a film of the Rocketry experiments that my pals and I did back in the 60s in Winnetka, Illinois. Ted Morris points to where the rocket landed. You can see the burn trail. This was all done in my backyard. There's the rocket itself and the sled that carried it. Sorry about the out of focus shot, but it was a manual focus camera which I borrowed from my dad. Notice our elaborate launching mechanism, a tube and bricks. Rocket Boys Norm Harvey and Ted Morris. We also used a local construction site for launches. Its gravel piles were great for catching the rockets. This 3/4 inch water pipe supported by bricks was the most elaborate launch mechanism we ever made. This is the burn trail. The first hit, a bounce to the second hit, and where the rocket finally landed. A close-up of the rocket. A slow motion impact. My most elaborate rocket sled launch was done near Crow Island School. From the film we calculated it reached a speed of about 200 miles per hour. Here's a close-up of the sled itself. No experiment in rocketry would be complete without a search for even better fuels. The primary fuel I used for almost all of these rockets was zinc sulfur. It worked great and was safe, but burned really fast. I experimented with flare powder to slow down the reaction. I tried potassium chlorate and paraffin. I would burn samples of these in my garage at home and photograph the results. I got a kick out of watching the smoke cloud over the windows. I purchased these chemicals at the local hardware store or by mail order. By the way, Winnetka is the town in which the film Home Alone was shot. I was home alone a lot. Some of these combinations, which burned so well on the floor, when I put them in the rocket, exploded. This is my attempt at a convergent-divergent exhaust nozzle. Using that kind of nozzle gives more thrust. A night test of that nozzle. Did it fizzle? No. A daytime test. I love the slow motion capability of my father's camera. Filming at 64 frames per second produced an image that showed at 1/4 the real speed. The aftermath. Autofocus would have been nice. Framing was a problem too. I tried a version with holes poked in the side to see if it would suck in air and give more thrust. It didn't work at all. It just blew exhaust out sideways and actually slowed the rocket down. About the only real science I applied in these experiments was that I had enough chemistry to get the chemical ratios correct. And just like the military bases, if at the end of my experiments I still had fuel left over, I burned it off.